Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the movie The Wizard of Oz. And I really enjoyed this movie. Now, I've seen bits and pieces of this since I've been young, but I decided to sit down and actually watch it and kind of see how it kind of works out for me. And holy shit, it's there's certain kind of aspects where I'm like, okay, I kind of wish this had been done better, but the beginning of the movie, I'm more like, god damn, motherfuck, we got some crazy ass shit going on. So, one of the cool kind of bits of this is that it starts off black and white sepia tone, and then when we shift to the Land of Oz, it moves to color, which was a big fucking deal back in the day, 1939. It's like, holy shit, we're getting color, motherfucker, what else we gonna get? And all that, it really pops with the vibrancy of what's kind of going on. But seeing the beginning of the story with Dorothy and Toto and what kind of goes on with the farm, it's more important for the setup and execution of the various other kind of relationships that we get when we get to Oz than you normally think. And at first, it really just kind of connects to you when you're kind of kid, teenager, with Dorothy being like, this really fucking sucks. For what's kind of going on with her. Like, yeah, I kind of feel for her. And I'm like, I really felt for her. I'm like, this, like, she's coming back and trying to, like, get help from the people on the farm. Her aunt and her uncle, the hands that they've got there. Oop, wrong thing there. Let's see. We got Auntie M. We got Uncle Henry. We've also got the rest of the hands on there just doing their kind of thing to kind of help up the farm. She's trying to tell them that, let's see, Gulch? Let me see. Yeah. Elmira Gulch is pretty much trying to go after Toto, and she's trying to get them to kind of help and everything, and they're trying to make sure that these chicks are going to survive and counting them. Now, that's kind of important, but there's also a big kind of thing, like, there are things that adults don't find important whatsoever, which then become important later on, and vice versa, same with teens. But, like, even though you could probably be like, Dorothy's being hysterical, what's kind of going on? The movie proves that she is not, because she tried to pretty much do some shit to Toto, and is just being pretty much an asshole. And she's tried to protect Toto and everything, and then the hands kind of like try and calm her down as well and kind of help her out a little bit, but they're still doing their own kind of stuff, linking up with, of course, the Scarecrow, the Cowardly Lion, and the Tin Man. And we see that Gulch comes in and has a written thing from the sheriff saying that she can come and destroy and kill Toto. And the adults just let that shit happen. And it's like, motherfucker. So Dorothy goes and locks herself in her room. And Aunt Am's like, I got a mind to say to you, even though that you, like, own, like, half the county. And shit's like, oh, rich asshole doing what rich asshole does. It's like, fuck you. It's like, that dog bit me on the ankle and shit like that. I'm like, the dog is not acting completely and utterly rabid or anything right now. Like, if it was ready to fucking take your ass down, it would be just fucking going for it. And Toto's a pretty badass motherfucker in this movie. Like, it's kind of crazy. I'm like, Toto, you boss of shit. Especially when we get, like, later into the actual kind of mechanical workings of Oz. Well, not mechanical workings, but, like, we're trying to, like, get through some shit, and Toto's like, I need to help some shit out on this motherfucker. Thing is, Gulch pretty much takes Toto, and Toto's like, fuck you, asshole, just fucking books it, and then pretty much gets back in with Dorothy. Dorothy's like, fuck this shit, running away, and I actually don't blame her. Giving up an animal just to get euthanized by a fucking asshole, it does call into question what else the adults would do depending upon what goes on. What if Gulch wanted Dorothy locked up for any reason whatsoever, or institutionalized or whatnot? You gonna fight that then, or you not? I actually don't blame her reasoning here, as she pretty much runs away and then runs into this Professor Marvel dude, who's like, yes, I've been here and done this with kings and everything. It's like, do you know any? It's like, oh, okay. Pretty much the charlatan kind of dude, pretty much taking a picture and pretty much getting her to kind of go back home and be like, yeah, just go back home, you're alright. Before shit starts getting crazy and we get a twister, because this is Kansas, everything going nutty with a twister. So, Ann and the rest are pretty much able to get into the kind of storm shelter. Dorothy can't get in as everything's going nutty. She pretty much gets back into the house, which is the best kind of case scenario for that, and then gets fucking hit on the head. And we pretty much are showed that she's kind of hallucinating this. Well, not hallucinating. She got bonked on the fucking head and pretty much gets this whole thing for Oz. Though I kind of like to think that it could actually be like she got teleported or whatnot, but it's pretty much what is showcased throughout the movie of like, yeah, you got knocked on the head and you're fucking hallucinating this kind of shit. But it does help her kind of work through things and have her kind of epic kind of quest. So she sees weird shit going on with the twister, pretty much the house getting taken up. We see Gulch getting transforming into a witch and kind of flying off. And then we see that the house is put into Oz, crushing the Wicked Witch of the East. And the Munchkins are like, holy fucking shit, that bitch be dead. And this is where we start getting to the kind of musical aspects. And we get Glinda, the Good Witch, who is... It's kind of funny. Even before, like, Wicked and everything like that, I didn't really see much of Glinda. But I'm like, oh, she's the Good Witch or whatnot. But she kind of has this kind of off-putting kind of personality that's kind of there of, like, how she's smiling and trying to make sure that she's, like, perceived as good. So it's not really anything put into the movie. It's probably just how that kind of acting style was done back in the day that just kind of puts me off of like, okay. So we get the whole production as she's telling the Munchkins it's alright to come out that this witch pretty much dropped a house on that bitch and she'd be dead. And it's like, ah, shit, I didn't mean to kill anybody. What the fuck? And I like Dorothy being like, whoa, hold on. I'm not a witch. I didn't do this on purpose. I don't even know what the fuck's going on right here, man. And then they're like, we're getting into our thing, pretty much saying that the witch is dead. My main problem with this is that they keep going on for a good bit, being like, she dead. We got the corner being like, she ain't just dead. She dead ass motherfucker. And it just keeps repeating a lot of stuff, which I'm okay with, but it just doesn't really give a lot of variety. Now, if you're trying to balance it between like the adults trying to watch and the children trying to watch, I kind of get it, but it kind of gets a little bit grating before we then move to trying to get her on her quest to go to see the wizard, to get home and everything. We also get that the Wicked Witch of the West wants those slippers, because these slippers from the Wicked Witch of the East pops up on Dorothy, and Glinda's like, yeah, you can't get those shit now. She's like, fuck, I'll get you and your little dog too. Ah! And pretty much sitting up like, I just want to get home, and I don't want to get fucked up by that bitch, so let's can we get this done? She's like, alright, follow the yellow brick road. And it's like, alright, cool. And then we get her following the yellow brick road and then gathering her cadre of friends, starting with the Scarecrow, being like, I really wish I had a brain. I can't even scare any scarecrows or anything like that. And then this is the really kind of cool aspect. I might knock the Munchkin one for pretty much doing a lot of kind of repetition. It's mainly because it just kind of repeats the same kind of stuff and really doesn't go into kind of like as much kind of variation with what's going on. But here I like the repetition because we get the kind of same songs introducing the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Cowardly Lion, but it's of course changed to fit up with the scenarios of what's going on with each character. Wanting a brain for the Scarecrow, and wanting to think and kind of do the kind of stuff, and seeing him do his kind of dancing and everything like that's pretty kind of cool. Before they then follow into the Tin Man, who has rusted up, so they use the oil cans to kind of showing up, and he wants to have a heart and wants to be moved and wants to have feelings and all that kind of stuff. And the thing is, the main kind of crux and emotional kind of thematic part of this is they all had that kind of stuff to begin with. So let's see here. Yeah, and then the Cowardly Lion wants courage because he's like trying to scare him and whatnot, but then he gets scared. He's like, yeah, I can't do a lot of this kind of stuff. So they pretty much go, and we see that the Wicked Witch of the West pretty much wants to, let's see here, kind of go after Dorothy, but she utilizes this kind of spell kind of thing to kind of make them kind of sleepy, but it doesn't completely and utterly work out right. And then they go and they're able to get to the Emerald City. And the really kind of funny thing is we've got this doorman who you're like, okay, that dude looks like the Professor Marvel kind of dude. And then, of course, links up to the reveal at the end with the Wizard of Oz. I kind of like to think that, yeah, they're using the same kind of dude because probably they like wanted to utilize the same actors to probably save costs. I almost kind of want to think that even though they don't look exactly like the wizard dude, that it was the wizard dude trying to be like, I don't want to deal with these motherfuckers. So he pretty much keeps doing this, and I almost kind of think that it kind of works out because they get them drawn in, but the dude's like, the wizard don't want to see your ass. And of course, Dorothy's like lamenting the fact she wants to get to Aunt Em. She wants to get home, and it's kind of teenage kind of one, but without being, it's understandable, without being annoying and just vapid and just a fucking stereotype. Dorothy goes through some shit here. It's like, god damn. And of course, this moves the door. Dude's like, god, alright, cool. He'll see you. And then the dude disappears, and then we get to the wizard. It's like, okay, let's see what's going on here. And of course, we see everything, the green head and everything like that. It's like, yes, I am the great and powerful wizard. I want you guys to get the Wicked Witch of the West's broom, and I'll grant all your wishes. Alright, so go. So, we pretty much see them pretty much going into the Wicked Witch of the West's territory. She set the flying monkeys to pretty much be like, I want them ruby slippers. And it kind of screws over our party. And we get that the Scarecrow pretty much gets torn apart. Dorothy and Toto get taken. And the thing is, the slippers cannot be taken off of Dorothy while she's alive. So the witch is like, I'm gonna kill your ass. I'll just let you sit here and wait until this thing fucking does it, whatever spell that I'm kind of doing. Toto's like, fuck you, and decides to go and like be like, I ain't gonna let this shit happen, and then buck off, and then tries to, of course, reform the group and get the rest of the party to go take this bitch ass out. So, they're trying to figure it out, and of course see the rest of the people that are part of the witch's kingdom. We got the flying monkeys pretty much utilized to kind of go for him. Of course, it's become such a touchstone that we get the MCU. It's like personal flying monkeys. I understood that reference. But I really like the transition of like the monkeys flying in the background and then coming down to like attack. It was very well done. And even though you can tell that they're sets, I like the bright colors and how they're painted and how they're done. Pretty good quality. And you can tell that they kind of transition to certain things when like certain actors get to like the end game, like this point where it's like, that's a fucking wall. It's like, alright. But then they get set upon by certain ones from the witch's retinue, but they like beat them up and pretty much take their clothes to sneak in. Let's see. They are able to find Dorothy, and we see that the whole thing with the hourglass is kind of done, and they kind of get chased in a rigmarole before the witch pretty much utilizes fire to pretty much get the Scarecrow on fire. However, we find out the witch's weakness is water, and Dorothy pretty much does it to save the Scarecrow, and then flings it on the Wicked Witch of the West, and she's like, I'm melting, and then I'm like, yeah, you seem to have your fire as your element, and just like, you got water around, you gotta watch that shit. And then the dude's like, you killed her ass, and she's like, I really didn't mean to. This is like, it's funny. As a kid and an adult, like, I can see it as both kind of things, but as an adult, I'm like, this is like one of the funniest movies possible, because Dorothy is like, you killed these witches. It's like, this is a case of accidental homicide, if anything. I did not mean to kill her, because I didn't know that water would fucking kill her like this shit. It's like, what the hell? She didn't go around dropping houses, like, two witches be done in this movie, and it's like hilarious as shit to me right now. Now, as a kid, I'd be caught up in the epicness of like the party's journey and everything like that. But I get that, and that's an awesome aspect here. It kind of felt like it's not onto the complete level of seriousness of like Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai, but you gather in your party, you're going off on your adventure, you're going off and doing your shit. And the thing is, this is epic shit. I mean, if you're thinking about it, it'd be like, oh yeah, I just sent my kid to the grocery store and had to deal with like an asshole or whatnot, and then came back home. Sure, but you could boil that down to Lord of the Rings as well, like as they were doing in the Clerks movies. And it's like, yeah, Dorothy just walks a couple places and then accidentally flings a bucket of water on this bitch and kills her ass. It's like, holy fucking shit. But it's like, oh yeah, and then they're like, thank you, Dorothy, thank you. Pretty much getting him back to Oz, has the broomstick that was kind of burnt, but now that they've got from her, and the wizard's like, I'll text your ass when it's ready or whatnot. It's like, come back tomorrow, I'll buzz your ass. That's like, no. And of course, Toto's able to pretty much pull back the curtain and be like, look, do not pay no attention to that man behind the curtain, which of course becomes another cultural touchstone for things, because you're like, yeah, pay no attention to that person doing that thing back there. It's like, I can't do most of the shit, and then pretty much gives things of showing that these people had these qualities to begin with. Talking about that he knew a lot of people from universities that went in and had no kind of brains. It's like, here you go, an honorary PhD thinking doctorate fucking thing. It's like, oh yeah, cool. Of course, giving a heart-shaped thing to showcase the Tin Man's heart, and of course a medal for the Cowardly Lion's courage and everything. And then they're like, all right, what about Dorothy? It's like, all right. See, the thing is, I was part of a state fair. I didn't know how to fly this balloon fucking thing, so maybe we'll do that. Yeah, I'm from like where you're from too. Not exactly the same, kind of around Nebraska or whatnot. Yeah, he's from Kansas, and like it was from like a Nebraska kind of like fair or whatnot. It's like, all right, fine. Even saying goodbye to subjects like, yeah, I could be back if it kind of works out, but yeah, no. Toto kind of fucked around a little bit, and of course Dorothy had to get out, and then the wizard's dude's like, I don't know how to fly this fucking thing. I was like, it's a balloon. You got your sandbags. Why the fuck are you utilizing this thing if you don't know how to fly it? Like, yeah, you could go up if you're tethered, but what the fuck's your plan? Like, you just go float to other places? How the fuck you gonna get down, man? Do you know how to fucking work the, like, flame and shit for the air and all that to make sure that you don't fucking die when that shit goes down? It's like, dude, you need to work on that shit. And then they're like all freaking out and everything, but the thing is, Glinda's like, you have the ability to go home at any time, man. You got them slippers. There's no place like home. Another one. And she's able to do it, and she pops up, and everybody's like, holy fucking shit, you alright? And she's like, you're all there, I'm so sorry. I'm never running home again. Of course, Professor Marvel pops in and be like, make sure that she got home all right and everything, which, yeah, he's a fraud and a charlatan and all that, but at least he attempted to help her out, which is a lot better than most people would do, okay? Yeah. And saying that there's no place like home. So, I actually think that this is an important one, even my little quibbles with mainly the Munchkins songs and everything. I still think it's a really good movie and showcases great technical aspects of the time and why it's such an important film in film history. I really like the acting that they do as well. I mean, being able to dance and sing and deliver the lines that really work pretty well. We've got them as the farmhands, but then when we have them as the Oz inhabitants, you really believe it's a scarecrow, Tin Man, and a cowardly lion doing all this kind of shit. And, of course, the Wicked Witch of the West is a great antagonist. Really, like, follows in the same kind of vein of Gulch. And it's kind of crazy that I can watch this movie and be like, yeah, Gulch, even though we only really see her a lot through that. And we don't even know if she fucking survived the twister or whatnot. And I was like, oh god, is she dead? That's fun. See what kind of goes on with that. But seeing this and seeing like, god damn, she's a great antagonist there too. I'm like, motherfuck. So I would definitely recommend watching this just for the classic aspects and everything. Kids and adults, depending upon how old they are and what they kind of think they can handle or whatnot. And then just, if it does scare them or whatnot, actually talking to them about it and working through it and being like, okay, we can stop. We don't have any problems there. Dialogue with them. They're people. Just because you have more experience doesn't mean that you're better than them. It just means you've seen more shit and potentially could have survived more shit through survival skills or sheer fucking luck. And a lot of times it's more sheer fucking luck than a lot of people want to say. So, yeah, I mean, the thing is, you'd be like, okay, this one's, I've seen scarier shit than this. Yeah, but the thing is, if it's a kid and they haven't seen that even scarier shit, maybe this is that scary shit that goes from. Like, I got freaked out because of the movie Leviathan and the transformation that those people were going in and turning into fucking fish people and all that. And I'm like, oh god. Seeing it now, I'm not afraid of it whatsoever. And it looks fucking hokey as shit. But when I was younger, I'm like, god damn. And like, everything kind of going on. And what I saw to them, it just fucking delved into some kind of deep aspect of my brain. Like, fuck me, kind of shit. Which I can understand with a flying monkey coming after your ass and doing shit. Or someone on a broom cackling and saying, I'm gonna fucking take you and your little dog too, and all that. So, yeah. But I would recommend it to a lot of ages and a lot of places. Just figure out what kind of works for you. It's done a lot of work for a lot of, it has the accolades it has for a reason. Now, I also need to read the book at a certain kind of point, just to see the differences and everything. But, yeah, I was happy to see this, and I had a good time with it, and I'm happy about that. If you saw it and didn't have a good time with it, I totally understand. Depending upon, like, your life experiences as well. You could be like, this doesn't fit with me. It's like, that's cool. And if you didn't like it, that's awesome. If you don't like musicals, musical aspects are a big part of it, but after a certain point, like the drawing of the cadre, the party, they don't really do much musical stuff. So, thing is, it's like, how many minutes is it? 102 minutes. I would say I don't know if I'd be able to say it's about 50%. It's not like it's a full-on musical like Les Mis or Sweeney Todd. And another good thing about it is its audio mixing worked pretty well. Now, I did record it on Xfinity for DVR, and the audio was good. Sometimes, like, the quality of it wasn't the best, but you can, like, buy it at 4K. So, that would be really pretty. That would look really fucking good. So, yeah. If you didn't like it, that's cool. But I enjoyed this one and like having it in that kind of big-ass kind of category and be like, yeah, this works. So those are my opinions on the movie. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.